So the iPhone 13 is looking good, and Apple is really trying to push this narrative that their phones are going to be able to replace cinema cameras, which I don't believe they're just quite there yet. They have a film with 2 Oscar winners, and they're using this part of their propaganda to convince us that the iPhone can replace a cinema camera. Now, I'm a filmmaker, and I'll tell you right now, it absolutely cannot do that. Oscar winners, this just means that they hired some Oscar winners to participate in this movie. It doesn't mean that it won an Oscar. See the marketing? See how marketing is so interesting? Marketing is so interesting. You can really scam people into thinking things by associating it to a higher valued product. It is not comparable, and it is not good enough. But those are my thoughts. So anyway, I'm going to watch this cute little iPhone video. iPhone 13, they're saying it's a great camera. Let's watch this video. But before I get into that, this video is brought to you by Brand Video Pros Members Lab, an online course that helps brands and influencers scale their influence and sales. Now let's begin. All right.
Start with a story you desperately and definitely want to tell, and then everything will follow suit. If you believe strongly enough in the story, it'll happen.
Okay, so the director is an Oscar winner. So she's directing from this iPhone 13.
To get into filmmaking, you need to start getting into filmmaking. You need to start doing it.
Cinematographer as well. He's using an iPhone. Interesting rig that he has there.
We have this iPhone that is a professional filmmaking tool, which is exciting as a filmmaker.
All right, sorry. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on the iPhone. It's so funny. They have an Oscar-winning cinematographer saying that this is a professional filmmaking tool. What defines professional? The ability to earn money from a product. Yes. Can you use an iPhone to earn money? Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, especially in the commercial world these days, iPhone footage is more valuable than high glossy cinema footage because it gives you this raw authenticity, right? An iPhone, and again, if you're a startup filmmaker, you're starting out, an iPhone is the best thing to get because you can use it to film HD footage, not just HD, but 4K resolution, and you can change your frame rates, which are great tools. But on top of that, you can edit on the iPhone, so it saves you a lot of money. You can spend $1,000, spend just over $1,000, and you can use this one tool to do so many things. But if you were gonna get your filmmaking gear, you'd have to buy all these things, and it's gonna cost you more than $1,000, a lot more, to get the right tools, right? So it's a great startup camera to use, but I'm not gonna say it's like an amazing professional filmmaking tool. Like, that's just marketing and branding.
It's a completely integrated process now. The iPhone doesn't require any ancillary pieces of equipment. Like it becomes still and she turns slowly. It's the dawning realization.
This is just, but one thing I will say, because I'm not really like hating hard, because at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, it's not about the tools that you use in filmmaking. It's really about the talent behind the camera. And that's the talent in not only the cinematography, but the storytelling, and the storytelling through cinematography as well. And so when you look at this, they have this extremely expensive set. Great lighting. Lighting is so important when in cinematic images. So they have this amazing lighting, amazing set, and they're using a very cheap camera. Well, the chances are, if all you can afford is an iPhone, you're definitely not going to be able to afford this expensive set. So it doesn't apply in the real life scenario. It's not realistic. But at the end of the day, I'm not coming for the iPhone. It's a dope camera. Look, do I sometimes switch up when I have my really high glossy expensive camera, and sometimes it's just easier to get the iPhone shot, or it's going to look better on the iPhone shot while I use the iPhone shot? Absolutely. Does that happen often? Even as a documentary filmmaker? Nah. Is the iPhone getting better as a camera? Absolutely. Every time I'm impressed. It's a great. I shot a commercial on an iPhone for a client. So I'm not coming for iPhones. I just think they need to be careful with their marketing. And let's not spread lies. Let's look at the reality of the situation. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
I thought it was a
Yeah, so it looks cinematic because the lighting.
good challenge. You know, these are all genres I love.
But again, the lighting, but you can see it doesn't look so high gloss because the camera is not that good.
And it's so great to kind of parachute in, do a deep dive with the iPhone. That's great.
Yeah.
See what feels good.
Got it.
To be honest, we sort of designed these sets and these sequences to take advantage of how nimble it is. And with so much accessibility, I think all pretension tends to disappear. And so it makes the set and the filming process much less apprehensive.
Expensive set.
Malleable.
That's what it feels like to me, very malleable.
There was no limitations to what I could do with this particular camera, whereas normally everybody gets so precious about a camera and a lens. It's so expensive, or it's so fragile.
Look, I'm not going to pretend and act like there are not benefits to using an iPhone, but let's not sort of give people this lie or this idea that it's better to use an iPhone. Because if you're going to take all the time to get this like elaborate set, you're going to pay all this money for these great actors, you're going to do all of that, it's in your best interest to take the time to get the right lenses, get the right everything, and you shoot on a proper cinema camera so you can get the best image quality possible. But again, can you potentially interchange some shots with an iPhone shots here and there and it's not noticeable? Yeah, if it's a short few second shot, it's possible. But the point here is, again, it's not about the tools. It's about the talent. It's about the talent and who's the storyteller. What story are you telling? And you will be able to captivate people no matter what tools you use. So if you don't have a budget to make a huge movie, hey, an iPhone's not the worst thing in the world.
It's one of the things that the iPhone couldn't do up until now was to create an idea of depth from a lens. With cinematic mode, what's exciting is we can actually choose focus later. To me, that's really bringing it up to the professional film cameras.
To think that
So yeah, it does now. It can give you a shallow depth of field. They have this focus mode, which they're using what they have as portrait mode, but they're putting in the video space. And it does auto tracking, which is an interesting tool. Look, it's a great thing to use on the go. Like, for example, the fact that it has these little features in it. Okay, if I was filming with a cinema camera, but I didn't have a focus puller, which is something that you hire that pulls focus, and I don't have the tools, it saves me money and even time if I just whip out my iPhone and get this individual shot with my iPhone. So yeah, there are real world scenarios where an iPhone would be convenient to whip out, even on a big set, because hey, paying for a focus puller for one day could cost you, or an iPhone, well, probably a very expensive focus puller, but like, let's say like you could get them for like $300. Well, and if you're shooting a movie, it's going to last more than a day. So in this situation, hey, I don't have a focus puller, so I'll buy an iPhone, $1,000. That's going to be 4 days of having a focus puller, but I'm going to have this iPhone for the longevity of my movie shoot, which is going to save you money. So here's one thing. Technology has its way of eradicating human jobs, real people jobs. It's done this since the beginning of time. Technology makes things smoother. So yes, don't get me wrong. It's a great tool that can be used, but let's not put this idea, they're kind of branding this idea that it's going to replace. We're not there yet. And I don't think that it's never going to be there. I think it will be there. I don't think anytime soon though. Just from the image quality that I'm seeing, even from this footage, it's just not high gloss.
It's cheating is you have to see his flush. So you clock his cards and then you jump up.
We can actually go ahead and make these stories and make these films using the tools on this iPhone. I believe that with the advent of ProRes,
I think what it really is that affects the gloss is the sharpness of the image. It has a very video look, and that's what you're not getting, that cinematic look. So I don't know. Yeah, that's something that they should look at. But they need to have that sharpness because the tools are, yeah, they need it, but that's what is affecting it. So if they can figure that out, well.
And with the addition of cinematic mode, we're going to very, very soon see filmmakers make films in a different way, which is...
He said we're going to very, very soon see this happen. Yes, I don't know if it's very, very soon. I think we're probably about 3-4 years out of having a really quality iPhone, that could really compete in the marketplace with a cinema camera. I don't think we're close now. And it's going to take some serious technological advancements. So they need to, I'm sure they're already spending a lot of money on it. But that's something that needs to be figured out.
It's exciting.
It might even birth a brand new genre.
I have no doubt it will, just given the size and given the ability to move this camera.
Exactly.
It will change.
That's so smart. They said it will birth a new genre. And I think what's interesting is that they're filming this interview, this talking, probably on a computer, an iMac, or showing that like COVID has really birthed this idea that you don't need high gloss to tell stories, because people were forced to film interviews and create media through Zoom. So it's acceptable to see somebody being interviewed via Zoom these days. And it's just changed the expectation of society. And it gives a little bit more authenticity and rawness to the storytelling. So that's where the iPhone can really take advantage of its abilities in that authenticity genre. They said it's going to birth a new genre. I think that's the genre that it has already been birthed. And it's about authenticity, about rawness, about reality. And that's the space right now that the iPhone can really take advantage, move into, and dominate in. But I don't think that space is in high gloss cinematic imagery or cinematic films.
Use the language of cinema in a very positive way.
Change the language of cinema. For me, okay, I'm trolling them because this is just marketing language. And they're playing into people's vulnerabilities or gullibleness. It's great marketing. It's very genius. I'm just coming for them because it's not that they're selling a lie, but at the same time, they're kind of selling a lie. They know that they're overhyping something that it's just not what they're selling it to be. And will it be there? Sure, soon. But we're not there yet. So let's not lie. iPhones are also great with those wide angle shots. You can get really dope wide angle shots. I can't wait to check out this camera and see what it really looks like. I can't wait. I think the main issues that I find with the iPhone is the sharpness and as well as the dynamic range. Those are the main things that just takes away that high gloss cinema look. Yeah, I see these images great marketing though. I'll give them that. Great marketing. Anyway, so those are my thoughts. Please let me know your thoughts down below. Was I really harsh? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? What are your thoughts? Leave a comment down below. Yeah. And don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all the above. My name is Kenim, and see you next time. Peace.